I'm Bryson Cole with ReflectivePro, and in this video we're going to be talking about flexible and conformable reflective tape. We're going to be going over our Type 3 ULG, which is a Nikkalite film. It is a glass bead film and is very flexible. We're going to be going over also our Oralite V98, which is not a typed film, but it is prismatic. It's a conformable, flexible tape as well. And then we're going to be going over our Nikkalite ELG, which is a Type 1 glass bead film. And then as a benchmark, just to show you and to compare, we're also going to be going over our Type 4 HIP, which is a high intensity prismatic. This tape does not flex or conform at all. Now, most people, when they're buying reflective tape, they think they just need the brightest tape. The brightest is what they need, is the best. But in many cases, what they actually need is the most conformable or flexible tape. So that's the reason for this video.
We're now going to be showing the 4 pieces of tape wrapped around the tip of a fishing pole. The top 2 are the ULG, the Type 3 material. As you can see, it wraps around the fishing pole perfectly. The third piece of tape there is the V98, which will wrap around it, though it is actually not sticking to the pole as much as sticking to itself. The HIP there, as you can see, didn't wrap around it at all. It just immediately popped up because it is too thick. And then the last one there is the ELG, which once again also wrapped around it perfectly, which is a Type 1 engineer grade material. Now we're going to be showing the flexibility of the tape, starting with the HIP, which didn't pull at all, as you can see there. Now all these tapes we're stretching is cold. That means that we're not applying any heat to it at all. This is the ELG. As you can see, it flexes a little bit. Now we have the V98, and it will flex a little bit. Now the good thing about the V98 though is that it is a prismatic, so this is going to be 7 times brighter than the Type 1 ELG, though the ELG will flex much more. This is a good in the middle material because it is Type 3, which is a glass bead material, but it's still incredibly bright. And as you can see, this ULG will flex a good amount. Now we're going to be showing you how it flexes. All the tape conforms and flexes with heat applied using this hair dryer. So you can see it flexes a lot, maybe 3 times longer than it originally was. If you apply heat while you're applying it to a surface, it's very easily to get all the air bubbles and the wrinkles out of it. Now we're going to be showing you the V98. The V98 will stretch a good amount with heat applied to it, much more than if it was just cold. Now something you'll notice with these tapes when applied, especially when they're stretched, that the edges will actually curl up for the V98, but it won't curl up for the ELG and the HIP, or the ULG, which is the third one right here. The edges coming up is because it is a thicker material and has more tensile energy. We've now applied the 4 pieces of tape to a traffic cone to see how it performs under stress. As you can see, all the pieces of tape are still intact. However, the high intensity prismatic, the HIP, is starting to crack a little. So as you can see, all of the pieces of tape have taken a battering. However, the top piece of tape, which is the ULG, has fared the best. And we also applied it at the bottom, so it would have a smaller circumference and a larger circumference to test. The HIP is cracked a lot, and since it is an airbag prismatic, it is actually opening up the cells, which will cause dirt and grime to get in. So over the long period of time, the HIP is going to deteriorate much faster than the other pieces of tape, since it is more exposed now because of the cracks and bends in the material. Whereas the ULG, ELG, and the V98 aren't cracked since it is a single layer film, though they have bent a lot, which is fine as long as it still reflects.
Thank you for watching my video. I'm Bryson Cole with ReflectivePro. Please visit my website at www.reflectivepro.com.